Hola familia, it's your favorite Puerto Rican Brooklyn Philly back with another message, a daily health checkup, check-in. Just want to thank Spirit and my guides and my ancestors for their presence at this time. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Nothing but love and light is invited into this space, this sacred space, this intentional sacred space where we are coming to acknowledge and validate, give voice to how we feel emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and allow for a safe space to process and hopefully heal, right? Those areas that are requiring attention. Oh. Okay, right away. I wanted to just pop out, as you can clearly see. So usually this the blue cards are like a theme card. It serves as a theme card to see what area of our life, the feelings that I'm about to shuffle, would like for us to focus upon or reflect upon. And this is definitely someone who is consciously creating a safe space for themselves to move, right? Move. There's clearly body movement here. I hear a slowing down, right? A centering, a grounding. Peace, tranquility. De-stressing, unwinding. I'm hearing after a long day or after feeling a sense of anxiety. Right? So now I'm hearing ways in which we can tap into this type of feeling. So, of course, the picture is depicting someone on a yoga mat, extended in a movement, but this can be wherever or whatever takes you to feel this way, right? So for some it may be reading a book, for some it may be listening to music, some may be laying down on a yoga mat or a bed or a sofa and just deep breathing, right? But it is about centering ourselves, calming ourselves, becoming in tune with ourselves, right? The arms being outspread and wide open are very significant. There is this spirit of receptivity. Hopeful is the first feeling that came on, right? So this type of positioning of one's mind and body and emotions and helps one to create hope, remain hopeful, and vice versa. Being hopeful allows and assists one to become centered, right? Oh, these cards are flying out. Excuse that noise, it's my stool. Interesting. Jealous and ashamed. So ashamed flew out first onto the floor and then jealous. So I'm going to line them up that way. So now I'm hearing when one feels feelings of shame and or jealousy, remain hopeful and center yourself. Incorporate practices that will help you return to your center. I'm hearing this is not someone needs to hear that because you feel the feelings of shame and or jealousy, if these feelings are triggered, have been triggered for you lately, or you've been triggered and the feelings and the emotions that have come out up from that triggering experience has been ashamed and jealous, to remain hopeful, to understand that that is normal. That there is this sense I'm hearing that whoever feels these emotions thinks, oh well, that means I haven't grown, or you get frustrated with yourself and feel like confirmation, what is this all for? I'm not growing, why am I still here? It's this understanding that feelings are normal. They are normal. And it is really not realistic to think that we're only going to feel quote unquote happy feelings, right? There are going to be times where we feel jealous. There are going to be times where we encounter experiences that make us feel ashamed of our behavior, or embarrassed, or or whatever. Not whatever. Fear, anger, sadness, right? These are not evil emotions I'm hearing. Peaceful at the bottle. Interesting, bottle. So now when I heard bottle, I'm thinking a bottleneck, right? So you know how a bottle may be wider and then it tightens. So now I'm hearing constricted, right? One would feel constricted if one felt that the expectancy, that what would be normal of me is to always feel this way. And if I feel this way, something is wrong with me. And that is not true. That in all of these emotions, one can center oneself. Always come back to center. I'm hearing. And then music at the bottom of the so yeah, and I mentioned music earlier too. There is something about, and my dog barking is confirming. Go lay down. There's something soothing for many of you that music, again, they're emphasizing, I'm hearing the movement is important. There's something about body movement. Now I'm seeing like those chi people, right? That Tai Chi, even older individuals. So I'm hearing there's no excuse, right? There's something about allowing energy to flow and to move that will bring you back to center, that would help you remain hopeful and peaceful. So those are the emotions, or this seems to be the issues that your inner soul, your inner self, inner child, higher self are wanting you to acknowledge and to validate at this time, right? Another thing I just heard was a lot of the times when you're feeling these emotions that we would categorize typically as negative, like jealous or ashamed, we want to hurry up and get out of them, right? We want to numb them, stop them, for them to cease and desist. Yeah. And it's inviting you to what this reading is all about, which is remain, and not to wallow, right? But to feel it through, talk to it, right? Ask, Why are you feeling ashamed right now? Okay, you spilled this cup that typically can be also viewed as something normal. It happened, right? The cup slipped out my hand, whatever, why does that cause you to feel shame? Ashamed. The little cloud with the little raindrops. What memory does it bring up? I know one just came to my mind from childhood. Right? Is it that as a child, when you made a mistake, you were shamed for it? You were not allowed yourself. Because in this hopeful card, I love the way he's touching like his heart, his chest, like allowing himself grace, compassion, mercy. And maybe typically in relationships, whether it was at job sites or in schools or at home, or, your experience was that you were not allowed to make mistakes. You had to be that straight A student. If you came home with A's and B's, it was problematic. The B's weren't good enough. If you played Little League, you missed a play, that wasn't good enough. If you came home from work and I'm trying to think, I'm not a man, but you brought home hot dogs, it wasn't good enough. You should have brought home steak. Yeah, there's this feeling I'm hearing, that whatever you tried or when you committed mistakes, right? They weren't just, now I'm seeing that movie with the little kid. Oh God, what is it again? Where he goes back in time and to his childhood self, and he's with the family, because he's an orphan before he builds this time machine and goes back in time. And he's actually around the family where when they commit mistakes, they embrace them. They say, no, now we know that is not the way to get it, to make that machine function or to get our invention to work. So that just eliminates that one. And now we just move to another one. And it was very surprising to him to be in a community or in a family environment that looked at mistakes, right? Looked at failure, or what he would have deemed as failure, as no an opportunity to grow, right? A very different, right? So yeah, it's like I'm seeing these opportunities of where, maybe I did react jealous, or I did react accepting myself and saying, no, those encounters also are opportunities for me to grow. Because, prior to this, I didn't view it in that manner. So the first card that came out was Arrogance under Hopeful. Alchemy under Ashamed. And Perseverance under Jealous. Then you have to give me a minute, please. Be patient, because I can understand how to alchemize that shame. I can even see how to persevere right past the jealousy. But I am a little perplexed about arrogance, right? Under hopeful. Maybe Spirit is making a distinction between being hopeful and being arrogant. Yeah, and then I heard toxic positivity, right? It seems always to me like a mural, right? Like a picture, right? Now I'm hearing like a facade, right? Like I'm putting on this act of I'm okay, everything is okay. When I'm feeling maybe feelings of shame and jealousy. And then if I remain in this arrogant state about it, then I do not allow myself to alchemize and persevere. There is no alchemy, because there's no need then for change. I'm being arrogant. Yeah, now that makes sense. Thank you, Spirit. Right? And I'm hearing the arrogance looks good, but I keep hearing snapshot. So I'm hearing like this is the picture you can pose, right? And it's believable, right? Because when I look at her, she looks regal and flawless, and decked to the nines. But that is not her reality. That is not her reality. But if I remain hopeful, and then, I just saw hopeful about myself. He's pointing to himself, not about another. No, there's hope for me. I have compassion for me. I can see my humanity. I understand I'm not perfect. I understand it's perfectly normal to have these feelings. Right? And what I'm hearing is it's going to be very important for you to understand this, because as you continue to grow and level up, right? Because we grow, right? You can't go with the expectation that go lay down, BK. Excuse me. You can't go with the, well, I shouldn't say you can't. It would not behoove us to move, continue to move from space to space with false ideology, unrealistic expectations of ourselves, to think, oh, well, I've evolved from that level, so that means on this level I can't feel the shame, or I can't feel jealousy. Then when I do experience those things, they're going to seem catastrophic. And no, it's an invitation to hone our skills even more, to learn to alchemize, right? What does it mean when we alchemize something, right? We integrate it into such a way that it no longer becomes a deficit to us, but we've learned how to use it as a benefit. We didn't cast it aside. We didn't throw it away. We didn't reject it. And we're no longer repressing it through arrogance or ego. No, we're looking at it. We're accepting it. We're saying it's a part of who we are. And how can we use it to move us forward, right? Because the unrealistic would be to think that that winter is not coming again, right? Hence, for those of us who live in parts of the hemisphere where we experience seasons, then those of us who experience seasons understand that the seasons change in these climates. And in these climates experience winter, spring, summer, and fall, only yet to experience winter again. And at the bottom, deception, right? That would be the deception, to think that we are not susceptible to those emotions anymore, right? I just experienced something, a situation where I thought I was at a point where I was going to respond differently. And initially, I responded differently, but as it progressed, feelings that I didn't care too much about, anxiety that I thought I had put past me, fear, right, crept back in, and I responded in a way that I was, and that, that I am pretty, made me feel pretty ashamed. And it left me not feeling too good about myself and thinking, well, what's going on? I thought I evolved, right? I have grown so much that I am more aware of it than I was before. That I'm remaining hopeful about it and refusing to remain arrogant about it. That I am deciding to alchemize as opposed to wallowing in it. That I am deciding to persevere through by actually acknowledging it, validating it, feeling it, and healing it, as instead of remaining jealous of those who maybe I feel because I have a snapshot only of them that they've evolved. Because that's deception. That's the real wolf in sheep's clothing, I just heard. And I'm hearing for many of us, we have to acknowledge the wolf in sheep's clothing within us first. A lot of times I get it. It's so easy to see it in others, but Spirit is asking us to recognize it within ourselves. How we deceive ourselves. And again, that's not to belittle us. It's about awareness, right? Because now that I just saw the hopeful card, I'm thinking we're not alone in this, right? The more you listen to these types of readings, and we open ourselves to learn and to grow, we find out, oh my God, there's so many people who struggle with similar issues. Right? I was just sharing with somebody, I didn't know, right? Coming from my era that didn't have internet and the resources that I have now, confirmation, when I began to learn about things like imposter syndrome and alchemizing and codependency and parentification and even some of the experiences, to be able to finally call them abuse, abuse where? What are you talking about? Or that there's such a thing called anxiety or depression, right? These were not terms or perspectives that I had access to as a child. So when I began to learn about them, it gave me an immense sense of hope for myself, for my family, and a great sense of peace. Yeah, and even made me excited because it meant I wasn't this broken thing that beyond repair, right? I wasn't Humpty Dumpty who couldn't be put together again. No, there was hope for me. I too can experience peace, right? I too can be silly and excited again at the bottom, right? And get excited about life again, right? And I just looked at this silly card and I just said, get silly, get silly, get silly. Isn't there a song that was sticking her tongue out? And I'm reminded of the little girl in me who would go to the dance floor whenever the music came on and stick her tongue out. I don't know, for some reason my tongue and my feet would like collaborate instinctively until I was made to feel ashamed about that. And then I stopped. I don't know, maybe I'll go back to dancing with my tongue out again and not caring. Right? Yeah, Spirit. I think this is it. I think this is it. This is the message. Yeah. I'm hearing one from this self-care oracle. And then one from the affirmations. And then we close out. Right? This is what your spirit needed to hear today. This is what it wanted to acknowledge. Right? This is what your soul needed. Right? So dance like nobody's watching. Right? Find what centers you. Right? What calms your anxiety. Right? Remain hopeful that you too can live a life of peace. Right? That you are human and you will feel emotions that feel good and emotions that don't feel so good. But that they're all valid and they all should be acknowledged and understood so that they can be alchemized. Right? So we don't remain deceived and in stagnant energy, but yet be able to confidently, and maybe sometimes not so confidently, but still persevere and move forward. Right? Clear your energy field. So that's another suggestion, right? When you're feeling these emotions, after you've acknowledged them and validated them, right? We clear them. I'm being invited to clear them right now for myself, right? And some Florida water. Send that out to you. Rub it on myself, right? Clear out this energy, right? She has a sage stick. I saged right before I opened up this video. Right? I'll admit, when I smell this Florida water, when I sage, you know, when I throw on my protection oils, and you know, there is something beautiful. I do feel this sense of peace and hope that comes over me when I clear the energy. So clearing the energy, right? And it's a 10. I'm hearing, yes, clear this energy field, right? You're down, you know, and how are you closing that cycle? Because you just learned something new. You learned that it's okay to have those emotions, that they're not the end of the world, that, you know, 30 years from now, you're still going to feel things like shame and jealousy. Right? But that's not the end. That doesn't mean you're a horrible person. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It means you're human. The key is to acknowledge it, right? And address it. Validate them. Understand where they're coming from so that you can properly alchemize it, right? Yeah, because all the emotions are there to help us ultimately. right? Not to hurt us. Yeah, these two. A massage. Some of you can use a good massage if you can pay for it. If you can't, you know, I don't know. That person is massaging their feet right there. And this person seems to be massaging their own back and their own neck. So, yeah. There's something about that, right? Because typically we want somebody else to massage us, which I get it. It does feel great. I do. But there is something, I don't know, significant about this person doing it for themselves. And you can reach those areas. Right? Down here, she's soothing her own hand here, her own foot or his own foot, their own back and their own neck. These are areas we can, you know? And the importance, right, of doing that. Reconnecting, right? Touching oneself. That helps also to center, right? So possibly I got a little music playing in the background. I have my sage stick burning. I'm massaging myself, right? And then I move into journaling, right? Expressing. You know, journaling has been like a lifesaver for me throughout the years, right? I learned at a very young age to journal. I mean, as early as 13, 14. And, you know, my first journals were Dear God. And it was very cathartic, very life-changing and life-saving for me, because it was the one place I felt I could be totally honest, because I felt God knew everything. You know, my understanding of God back then, which now is God Goddess, right? There's this, it's divinity, is spirit, it's oneness, but was this that it knew it all, seen all, anything, so there wasn't anything I can hide. So it gave me this sense of freedom to just be as open and as honest and as authentic as I could be. And then in those times where it was like really personal and I would be scared somebody found it, I would just rip it out the journal and rip it into little pieces. But it was very helpful to journal them out, right? And then to close, we'll do some affirmations, right? So yeah, these are ways, right? And I'm hearing these are practices, again, that are lifelong. These are not just hit it and quit it, one and done. No, when you're feeling that anxious attachment, when you're feeling that shame, that jealousy, that anger, that fear, when you're feeling, you know, those emotions, right? These are like sure ways to, you know, soothe yourself, address them, right? Validate yourself, love on yourself, tell yourself, I'm worthy. These are ways I prove to myself that I am worthy, that I deserve, you know, to feel this hope, this peace, this centering, this joy from this music, right? This release. And I love that the arrogance and the perseverance are 5s. This is change, right? It's helping you to act. And look, the past is over. This is a new day, one that I have never lived before. I stay in the now and enjoy each and every moment. Amen. Ashe. Yes. Right? I'm hearing Nina Simone. May you rest. Simone, may you rest in peace, sister. Ashe. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. I am at peace with my age. Each age has its own special joys and experiences. I am always the perfect age for where I am in life. Right? And that's, I'm hearing that's for some those of us like myself who think, well, I'm too old for this, or I thought I should have known better. Like, these are thoughts that wanna, right? That then make you, I'm ashamed because I can't believe I made it to this age and I don't have this, and I'm comparing myself, and now I'm jealous of what this other person had. Right? No. No, this is the reality. This is where I'm at. It's okay. Remain hopeful. This is still an opportunity for me to be, to grow, to learn, to experience. My healing is already in process. My willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing and healing every part of my body. I know I am worth healing. Yes. And that's what I told you, that it was so beautiful about this card. He was like holding his own chest, his own heart, right? I'm hopeful in myself, right? That's so beautiful. Yeah, beloved. That is it. That was the message for today. That is the health checkup, check-in. I hope that you were able to resonate. I hope that it was able to uh, help you in your healing process and your healing journey. That is the purpose of this channel, of these videos. And as always, may the symphony, right, the harmony, the balance between your light and your shadow be the compass, right? That North Star that guides you to your greatest masterpiece, beloved, which is you. You are the greatest masterpiece. This world needs you, right? Your uniqueness, what only you can bring to us, right? Until next time, beloved, remain safe. And we want to take the time to thank Spirit, my guides, and my ancestors for, as always, showing up and showing out. Until next time, Ashe, Amen, and Amin.